Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over these screens, emphasize on screens in the Cadillac Escalade IQ. I'm going to try something new here. I'll include a link to Cadillac Provo's inventory in the description down below. They're providing me with this IQ. Let's get right into it. So we're going to start with the first screen, which is, well, two screens actually in the back. And if you want to turn it on, you just tap it and then it'll pop the screen on. Anyways, this will mostly be used as like a TV for the back. That's so you can see Hulu, YouTube Kids, and all that, and connect headphones. Now, the thing that I find funny, though, is this has vehicle status. So this takes backseat driving to a whole new level because you can literally see the energy usage. So you can go to this, and then you can be like, hey, you're a little bit too hard on the pedal. Can you let up? You're using up too much range. The next screen here is also in the back, and this is actually where we can adjust stuff with the second and the third row, funny enough. Also have the heated seat control here on this screen as well. And then you'll notice here for the rest of the climate adjustment. But this is also for the ambient lighting. Yes, you can change that in the back. There's lots of customization for that. And then finally, sorry, this last tab here, doors. So I can close the door automatically, and you'll notice the door will come closed. So that's the screens in the back. Now, before we move to the next screen, I do want to mention this does have a little bit of analog control action. So you've got this little volume control here, and then this is for the top infotainment system, this one right here. So if you want to have a more analog setup. Now I've got this next screen, and I'm going to close the door so the car stops beeping. But yeah, just like the back there, same setup. Are you happy now? The door's closed. Thank you very much. Anyways, yeah, so you've got all that in this screen right here. This also turns on the camera function up top there. And then it's also for the headlights as well. And you know, stuff like the universal garage door opener is built into this. And actually, if we go back, this is how you open up the glove box. Yes, it's in the screen. So that's very interesting that they've decided to go that way. The rear steer function, you can change all of that right there. I just leave it in auto mode. I think that'll be best for most people. And then also for the heads-up display. So you notice this is kind of like an adjustment screen for a lot of stuff. Can also turn on the heated and cooled seats, the heated steering wheel, the massage function. But something to note, they do still give you some physical controls for that stuff, but they also let you do it in the screen. And you can even control the second rows, which is pretty nifty. And then you notice the climate is here as well. And then lane departure, it's kind of random that your lane departure assistance is there on this screen. So I'd say this is like a climate control screen, but then just general control. And if that wasn't enough for you, we've got a passenger screen. Now this is very similar to the screen there in the back that we just went over, so you can see vehicle status. So again, you can, well, I guess backseat drive from the front seat, which if you're married, you know, it happens. But yeah, this is basically the same as those little TVs there in the back, and so you can watch stuff on it too. Now this is the gauge cluster in the center, and it's pretty customizable. I mean, you can have a giant map view that looks like that. And then I'm just pressing an arrow button to go through these options, by the way. You get your driver assistance view, which would be great, right, on a long road trip. And then you even have night vision. Now this one's going to take a second to load up here. There you go. But you've got all that, and so you can really customize what you want this to see. And then it also just has general vehicle information, so it lets you know how much power you're using, it lets you know how much range you have left, right? We're at 100% charge right now, so it's got all the standard stuff that you'd want. And we of course also have a heads-up display. Again, we've got that button down there on the control screen we went over where you can adjust things in the heads-up display, but that's also technically a screen, I suppose. And then we do have a camera rear view mirror. These are pretty straightforward. Just tip that back and then forward if you want it on versus off. And finally, we have this behemoth. So this is the central screen here. And again, this is controlled with the little keypad, or you can use it like a normal touch screen. So it's pretty quick to respond. It has, you know, somewhat important stuff like, again, the ambient lighting is very customizable here up front like it is in the back. And then you can even control the entertainment stuff. And notice there's settings, so you can really go deep into the customization. And then your auto park assist too. So pretty straightforward with that. So if you're pulling out this way, that way you just select which way and then the car will do the feature for you, which is cool. And then there's also, well, I went out of it, so we'll go back into it. There's also the park feature, which does the same thing, but just into the spaces right there. And you notice that the screen's relatively quick to respond. It does take a second for some of the pages here to load up. This is also where the drive modes will be integrated here. So you can go through all those. The My mode lets you customize everything here in the Escalade. And then you notice you got stuff like your music tab. So if you're connected to USB, just click onto that. Or if you went to, what should take me back. Interesting. Got the settings to it. I don't know why it's not going. I guess I have to go back to home, and then I'll have to go back into that if I wanted to. Even have for trailering. So you can add a trailer right there. So the car already recognizes it, and so then you just select that once you hook up to it, so the car can just take all the settings to what that is. And then you can see one pedal driving. You can set the level here on the screen as well. And then that's the shortcut for the glove box up top. Again, there's a button down here, but then there's also up top. And then the one pedal driving thing pops up on this screen. So a lot of stuff, you'll go from one screen to the next and back when you're using it. But we'll just keep that on normal, for example. And then you'll notice this right here, right, for charging. And then this is interesting. So you can turn the vehicle off just like that. So it's kind of like a manual shut off. And if you want it back on, I think all you have to do is just open up. I mean, this is one way you can do. Open up the door, put your foot on the brake. Or actually, let's turn it off again and just see if we can. Okay, so let's press it off, vehicle off. Let's see if we can just press the brake. Yeah, so you can just press the brake. You don't have to open up the door or anything, and that'll turn it right back on. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you guys is just the charging stuff. So against the little lightning bolt right there. So you can set your charge times with this. You can create a schedule, so you can have everything all set up with the car, which I think is kind of handy. So it lets you know like how long it's going to take to charge, and all, which is important for electric cars. So that is a look at these screens in the new Cadillac Escalade IQ. Let me know what you guys think about all of this screen action here. There is quite a bit. I mean, that's your dash, and then down below. And there's definitely a learning curve to it. I mean, you guys saw all the different features you have to go through, and I think it's interesting that they have you jump between that screen and that screen so often with a lot of the different features. I mean, again, a good example is with just the camera. It's a very simple thing. It's like you press the button down here to then, I mean, it makes sense to have the camera view up there, but it's just, I don't know, I think it's interesting that you press the button down here to use something up there. But anyways, if you want to see more videos just like this of me going over these very complex infotainment systems, because they are getting pretty crazy, let me know in the comment section below, and let me know what car you'd want to see me do this in. See ya!